We've all seen those videos where people are masking hair in Photoshop, but they have the best HD photos. What happens when we don't have that accessibility? I'm here to show you today the best technique for masking out hair when you don't have the best HD photos. Let's get it.
You are now tuned into CALSOSCOPED.
The first thing we need to do, as always, is get a nice layer mask. If you don't know how to mask, you guys can check out my tutorial playlist, and I'll link something in the top right corner right now. I'm going to go ahead and use Select Subject. Whenever I use Select Subject, I use this in combination with the lasso tool, and this is just so that I can get any excess parts that I want to have on there for my mask, or if I need to take any away. Q actually allows you to see a preview of your mask before you actually set it. Now I'm hitting my layer mask button. The second thing that I'll do after I get my layer mask is, what you want to see is all the parts of the mask that aren't the best, right? For your hair. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make a black solid layer behind this. So hold down Control and click this new layer icon, and then we're going to hit our semicircle down here, and we're going to choose a solid color. Make this solid color black. Now I can see my hair and all the artifacts that are really there, and this just definitely doesn't look good. The first thing that we're going to do is go to our layer. I'm going to actually name this first. So you're going to go on your layer, and you see this mask right here. You're going to double click on this mask. Now once we double click on this mask, we've entered select and mask. So what you're going to use is the feather brush tool. And this is the second one down, or it's called the refine edge. This is the second one down. You're going to click this, and we're going to use this tool. What you're also going to want to do is have a nice view. I like to use the overlay view so that I can really see everything as it is and just really easily. I don't set my opacity to 100. I usually set it to around 70. Now with this tool, we're going to go over the hair carefully, but just brushing on parts that I see are really white and shouldn't be there. When you hold down Alt or Command on the Mac, this is the opposite, so you could actually bring back detail, say if you were to get rid of too much. Once I'm satisfied with that, I hit OK. Now you can see we got out a good amount of the white that was in the hair, which we definitely don't want to have. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to use our lasso tool, L, shortcut for L. We're going to go and lasso around the hair area. And first thing that we can try out is just condensing the actual space of this mask. So once you have the selection around the hair, we're going to try and actually just condense this mask down in size, in radius. So what we're going to go to is Filter, Other, Minimum. Now when you're on Filter, Other, Minimum, you're going to want to have your roundness on. This way we can get down to the pixels. If you're on squareness, you can't get down to the tenths of a pixel. Go on roundness, and for this, we're just going to condense our mask, and you see it makes a pretty good difference. Usually I'll go around 1 or 1.2, something of that sort. Then I hit OK. Now this is already looking a little bit better. Let's just deselect this. Something that I'm also noticing is that this hair is just really blue and it's really saturated. This is what you're going to get a lot of times when you don't have the best photos, and you don't want to, you can do your best to try and hide the detail of the photo. So what you can do is actually desaturate it. So let's just add a hue and saturation, and let's clip it to book night. Let's right click, create a clipping mask, and let's just desaturate this. Now let's just invert the mask. And now I'm going to use a soft white brush, because white is going to reveal this mask, because I had inverted it with Control I. So if I de-invert it, I invert it with Control I like that. So I'm just going to brush on with a soft white brush. You can also drop your flow if you want, but here I just paint on and just desaturate the hair. Not all the way though, because you don't want to have it all the way desaturated, obviously, because then it will just mess up everything for the photo. The next step they're going to utilize is a brush pack called Concept Art Brush Pack. I will link it below, and you guys will be able to use this. This is the brush that I use all the time for my hair. So I go to Concept Art Brush Pack, and in yours it will be titled, oh yes, it will be titled Pelt 1, okay? That's what your brush is going to be titled. But I titled it as Hair Rough, but it will be Pelt 1 for you guys. So just look in the Pelt category once you download the brush pack. And then you're going to get this brush right here. This is what I also always use for hair, just to get it looking a little bit more professional, a little bit more clean. On my layer mask of Book Night right here, and I'm going to just paint with a black brush around some of these edges so that I'm getting like those white parts off. And you're gonna want to just click and really just try your best to make it look really good. Take your time with this step as it's very important, and hair masking is something that really stands out, and if it's not good, you're gonna really be able to tell on the design. That is, if it's white, you can get away with it, but if not, it's gonna be, you're gonna really be able to tell. Always do is use levels, so I'll clip levels to this. If you don't know the shortcut for clipping, it's literally just holding down Command or Alt, and you're just gonna go underneath the layer and it's gonna clip. So you're gonna go underneath the layer, you gotta get this icon right here, and it's gonna make a clipping mask. So I like to use levels, and this brings some detail back to the whole subject actually. Then we're not worried too much about the actual hair detail. So you can use levels and play around with the levels on the whole subject. Levels is pretty much playing around with highlights and shadows. So that is what levels does. And then also on levels, I'll do one just for the hair, and then invert the mask like we had before, and then paint white to reveal some of it. And this just gives the hair a little bit more definition, and it makes it look a little bit more clean, you know? One other thing you guys can do for this is you're gonna add a layer, clip this layer. Let's go back and, okay, so now we have our layer there. This layer is gonna be called Color Adapt. I'll just call it Color Adapt. Well, you're gonna go on your brush tool right here, B for shortcut brush, and you're gonna hold down Alt or Command on the Mac, and you're gonna click areas of the hair. And what you're gonna do in this step is you're just going to paint areas of the hair with the same color that's around it. So watch how I do it really quick. Click, I'm painting that area. Click, painting the area. Click, painting the area. The reason that I'm clicking and painting the area so fast is so that I don't pick up too much of one color throughout the hair and it starts looking unrealistic. Because you can actually get away with this if you do it very quickly, and you're just quickly selecting and then painting. Selecting, painting, select, paint. And make sure you stay on the brush that's going to be in this pack. But you guys see, like, it's filling in the hair with a better color very slowly, but it's going to work. And this is something that you're going to have to just do with photos that won't have the best image quality. But this is definitely going to help you, and it's going to make your designs a lot cleaner. You can even play around with the blending mode on this one if you want. Maybe one will work better. Sometimes they don't, but you can try. Maybe overlay though. Overlay looks pretty good for this one. And then, yeah, so then I'm going to go back and zoom out for all of these layers and look at what we had before versus after. That was before. Obviously you can't see what we did in select and mask, but that's okay. We're just getting better and better every time we do some layer. You can take this method very far and keep going with it. I advise you to. Just take your time with your hair mask and make sure that they're looking really good, because they are very important. So just take your time with hair mask, and I hope this video helps. If it did, make sure you guys share with a friend and drop a like down below. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. If you want to help support me on Patreon, the link will be in the description. Until next video, stay scoped, guys. Peace.